everybody! Give Me a Break Man has posted a video wanting to know where we were on 9/11. I was in a real estate class at the time. Anyone with a real estate license is required to get continuing education credits, like non-stop. But I was in a class at the time that was, I think it was a week-long class. And I remember we had a break and went to this little restaurant that was a couple doors down, and they were reporting on the news at the time. I remember I just kind of glanced at it and walked back out, didn't pay much attention when the first plane had hit, and it was kind of strange, and they were going, it looks like a small plane has run into one of the Twin Towers. And we went back to class, and there were a couple of people who were late coming back. So when the stragglers came in, they kind of disrupted the whole class, and I remember this instructor was really, to be honest, he was a jerk, and I didn't like the guy anyway. But I remember him getting really perturbed with these people who were interrupting his class when they came back in. But they were trying to tell him it wasn't an accident. So some of the people ran back over to the restaurant to see what was going on in the news, and they came back and they were really upset because they had family up in New York. I'm in Florida, for anyone who doesn't know. And eventually they came back over to the class, and the instructor was still trying to get the class under control, because the instructor is actually required by the state to, if we're signed up for a certain amount of hours, he has to actually keep us in the class for a certain amount of hours. Or at least he did at the time. Now everything's pretty much online, but at the time we had to actually be in the class. And they wanted to go back to the restaurant and watch the TVs, and he was trying to keep from leaving the room. Well, I had my laptop with me, so I said, well, if you have an internet connection, I can log on and we can see what we can find online for the news. And so he allowed that, and then that made some of the people, it appeased them a little bit. And I remember not being able to find a single U.S. news site where we could get the news on what was going on, and having to log on to the BBC because the internet was so bogged down with people trying to find out what was going on. And we were watching it on the BBC, and I think we saw it on the computer when the third plane hit, and the instructor could not get the class back under control and ended up having to release us. And we did have to come back the next day, and some people just didn't finish it, so I imagine they had to retape the class at a later date. So that's where I was on 9/11, and not a very good, I guess, place to put this, but Victor, I know your birthday is September 11th, and I know in Japan right now it's already the 11th. That's the 10th still here. So happy birthday, Victor. Bye.